members of the City Council. In September of this year, the Governor signed AB 187, the LARA bill, into law. And this legislation authorizes the state auditor to establish a high-risk government agency audit program. The Southeast Water Coalition, along with the Central Basin Water Association, has submitted several requests to Assemblymember Lara in the past as chair of the Joint Legislative Audit Committee to consider an audit of the Central Basin Municipal Water District. Other water agencies, including municipal agencies, are also in the process of submitting similar letters and resolutions from their respective boards in our city councils. Despite the concerns that have been expressed from many of its member agencies, questions continue to arise over accountability and transparency. Central Basin surcharge and on imported water supplies for groundwater recharge continues to increase, which in turn increases groundwater costs to local agencies and as a result contribute to higher retail water rates. Surcharge fees have increased from $5 per acre foot in 1991 to $90 per acre foot in 2011, with most of the increases, as you've seen in the past, have been between the years of 2009 and 2012, totaling about 125% increase just from 2008 alone. Central Basin surcharges are also passed on to the water replenishment district for imported water that is used to replenish the basin. These surcharges alone total a little over $2.2 million for this fiscal year 11-12, and that accounts for about $9 per acre foot on the replenishment assessment, which we all pay. In addition, litigation filed by Central Basin since 2008 has resulted in an estimated legal expense to all parties of approximately $10 to $12 million. Since the litigation involves the water replenishment district, water agencies are paying for this on both sides, not only through the replenishment assessment for groundwater that is pumped, but also through imported water costs through the Central Basin surcharge. Litigation costs from WRD alone for fiscal year 11-12 this fiscal year will be close to $1.5 million, and that accounts for $7 per acre foot on the replenishment assessment. Central Basin's most recent effort is the preparation of an environmental study for a program that would grant them control of the storage in the groundwater basin. Many water agencies, including Norwalk, have expressed concerns and opposition to this groundwater storage proposal. However, Central Basin has expressed its intent to continue to move forward with this program regardless of the opposition received. Resolution 1164, attached to your report, requests that the Joint Legislative Audit Committee consider an audit of Central Basin in accordance with the provisions of AB 187. That basically concludes my report, and I'm able to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions? I don't have a question as much as I have a comment. When I got elected, we try to do things out in the open, we try to do things and then the public purview and the public eye, I guess, so you can avoid these types of things. And I've read in the newspaper several times that this agency they've been asking for an audit of this agency and it keeps getting overturned, and they have friends that are up in Sacramento. So this is the type of thing when you try to avoid those things, it makes people very, very suspicious of what you're doing, and more often than not, there is something going on there. So absolutely, I can't fathom why they would be so opposed to being audited if they're doing everything legitimately. So I'm all over this thing. Let's do this.
You answered it.
Absolutely, I don't think they are.
This has been an ongoing issue with Southeast Water for quite some time, and we've tried to work with the Assembly member again for quite a long time, and it was frustrating how long it took to finally get this piece of legislation anywhere, let alone passed. And what they're attempting to do is take over the responsibilities that somebody else already has. So not only are the costs that they're incurring being passed along through them, but they're also being passed along through other agencies. We're paying twice for the same stuff, and now they want to get involved in what is really somebody else's business. So I appreciate the support from my colleagues. This is a very important issue. I've said this before, the next war we have on this earth will be over water.
So do we have a motion on this?
I have a question. Do we need a motion first, or has it?
No, we can.
Okay, let me ask Adriana a couple questions. How many members are in does the central, or how many cities does the Central Water Basin represent?
The Central Basin Municipal Water District,
Mhm.
it's about, I believe, 26 agencies.
Okay, and are the other cities submitting or passing resolutions like this?
Yes, as far as I know, quite a few are in the process. They may have to schedule it.
Are we the very first?
We're the second.
What's the timeline for an audit to take place? What has to happen? They have to get 26 resolutions, or?
I'm sorry, but I cannot answer that question. I really don't know. We've tried this in the past and it died. And so this time around, we just don't know what it's going to take.
And who would conduct the audit?
It would be the state auditor.
Is that Chang, Dr. John Chang?
Yeah.
State Controller's Office. If I could, you're probably aware that there was recent legislation passed and signed by the governor that allows for this particular type of audit of a local government agency if it's determined that it's a high-risk agency for fraud or some sort of mismanagement. So I doubt that it would take 26 resolutions, but just enough attention that the state controller would say, yes, indeed, this is something to pay attention to.
So Mike, are you saying that it's really not clear when the threshold gets passed?
I think the state controller actually has the authority. The city attorney can confirm, but the state controller can make that determination on his own. But certainly if there are other public agencies indicating there's reason for concern, I'm sure he would pay attention.
That's correct. I actually have another agency that had gone through an audit. Not one of these high-risk agencies, just an audit. They customarily will go through and do different kinds of agencies. And, they just initiated on their own. But if they get a lot of letters and a lot of people bringing attention to it, they're more likely to do it.
And I would imagine another factor would be what their backlog is, because
Yeah,
they just
sure.
finished a high-profile audit of another city close by.
I don't know if they did that, if they were the one who did it. I know Chang did. I don't know if it was this same department.
Okay. One last thing is that would it be possible, I noticed that we're sending the resolution to our elected representatives, the state representative, would it be possible to send this resolution to our congresswoman as well?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, I think it's good practice. All right, thanks.
Move resolution 1164.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmembers Rodarte,
Aye.
Schreier,
Aye.
Granola,
Aye.
Vice Mayor